Okay folks, this is part 2 of my video series on using the free version of Google Sketchup to design small structures. If you haven't watched video 1, I suggest you watch that first because this will be following up on everything that I taught you in that first lesson. Now in that first lesson we created this small house structure. We put in the doors, we put in the windows, we created a roof, and we painted it. And we got the interior so that we're ready to start working on that. In this lesson we're going to work on the interior, but I'm going to show you first how to make components. Now components are the things like this door, and I'm going to click on this to show you. Remember when we moved the door, it turned it into one separate unit. Same thing with the windows. Each window is its own module and component. It can be copied, it can be painted, it can be exploded, it can be rotated, all those different things. Those are called components. Well, we're going to create our own component. Now, the reason you want to learn how to do this is, for one thing, it helps so you can visualize the house and make things so that you can move them, take them off, and hide them. We want to be able to work on the inside of this house. Now, and I don't want to go erasing all this great work we put into putting this roof on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that roof into a component so that then I can hide it and work on the inside and then put it back on. That way when I'm showing someone else the design, I can show them the outside of the house, take off the roof, and then show them the inside of the house. So that's really important. Alright, I'm going to show you how to make a roof component the easy way. Alright, first, using your rotating tool, go to the front of the house. Now, if you look through the windows, this is just kind of a trick here. Okay, look through the windows, you can see the line of the back wall. See the line back in there through that window? I'm just going to use that kind of as a guide point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this down until that line is about even with this front line. Now my reason for doing that is I only want to select the roof. I don't want to select anything else. So rotate it to that line. Then using your pointer tool, go up in the sky, click and drag a box. This is a selector box. Now only select the roof. Don't select the whole house or you're going to turn the whole thing into a model. We only want to select the roof. So I'm going to go right underneath the eaves right there, just a little bit below it, and I'm going to select on that. Now, you notice that everything turned blue that was inside that box. It selected all of the roof panels and the roof, but nothing else. It didn't select anything below that. Now, I can turn that into a component. Up in your Edit menu, click on Edit, and you'll see where it says Make Component. Click on that. Now you've got a place up here to name your component. We're going to call it Roof. And you've got a box over here. It says Replace Section with this component. Yes, I want to replace the section that I'm working on in my drawing with this component. That way it stays in the same place so I know where it is. I don't have two roofs floating around out there. So I'm going to click on that box and then click Create. Now you see that my roof is enclosed in a box just like my doors and my windows are as a separate unit. Okay? Now I can move this and take it off, or I can hide it. I'm going to move it just to show you. We'll grab it and I'll move the roof. Look at that. I'm going to move the roof right over to the side. Okay? Now I can get down and work on the inside of my house. Okay? Now you'll notice that the tops of these walls disappeared. That's because they were selected with the roof. That's okay. We're going to put those back on. Don't worry about that. This is your roof now. Okay? And it is one component called roof. Now we can also hide this. But before I hide this, I'm going to put it back where it's supposed to go. Undo move. Just put it back where it's supposed to go. Now up in your Edit menu, click on Edit again while this is highlighted. You can click off this, just to show you. You can click off this now, and it's all one unit. When you're ready to do something to take off the roof, all you need to do is click on it to highlight it. Then go up to your Edit menu, and we're going to click on Hide. You'll see you got Hide and Unhide. Hide will hide whatever unit is selected. Unhide, you can unhide just the last unit or all of the units that are selected. Okay, so go to Hide, click on that, and boom, now my roof is hid. I don't have to erase it that way. It's there when I'm ready to use it, and when I'm done working on the inside, I want to put the roof back on it. Go back up to your Edit menu and click on Unhide. And then you'll see where it says Last or All. You could click either one because I've only got one component made, so I'm just going to click All. And you notice it puts my roof right back on my walls, exactly centered, exactly where it's supposed to be. Okay? So that is an excellent tool for making modules or components, and I'm going to show you how to use that a few different ways for making other components to go with your house that can be removed. If you want to make something and then have it so you can show the house with it on or with it off, making components is the easy way to do that. Okay, so now that we've got a roof component, we can start working on the interior of the house. So let's go ahead and hide that roof again. Now you can either click in the edit menu or you can right click, and you can also see hide in this menu. Either one will work. So now we'll take that off. Now when I made that component, you notice that it also captured these tops of these walls because they were included in the picture. So they're included in the module, but we want them back on this picture. The quick way to do that is just use your rectangle tool, go over and drag your lines back on the tops, and it did all three of them because they were all connected. I can erase this panel, and I can go over and put the top on this wall again. Just drag from that corner down to this corner. Okay, and again erase this panel because it doesn't know which panel I want to be there. But now I've got the tops back on my walls. Okay, now I would recommend, if you're going to be using this house design a lot, is that you make the entire house also a module, okay, without any interior work on it. That way you can erase stuff that's inside this modules, and you can erase walls. Now I like to take a wall off and make it a module along with the roof. That way I can take a wall off and look inside the house. So let's go ahead and make this wall over here a module using the same technique. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up. I know my back wall's back in there. I'm just going to line this up with the top of the wall. Okay. So I'm going to select my wall. You can see that I just want to select this wall right here and the window. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my selection bar again, my selection control, and make a box. And I'm going to select that window, or that wall with the window in it. Now you can see I've got that all selected, okay? It's going to have some extraneous material in here, but that's okay. We can erase that. But now I'm going to turn that into a module, again, using Edit, make it into a component. We'll call this Wall. Again, I want to replace the section, and click Create. Now I'm going to take that wall, and I'm going to hide it. And you can see again that I have to do a little bit of touch-up work here because it pulled the ends off of these walls, but that's okay. Again, just using my rectangle tool, I go back down, put my ends of that wall on, and again on this one over here. Now you can see that it kind of pulled a section of the wall off. That's okay. You can fix any of that stuff just by drawing your lines back down. I'm going to select on this corner and just draw that line back down there, and then I'll take my rectangle tool and I'll go from that line down to the bottom. That puts my rectangles back on. Now I've got the house so that I can look inside from both the side and from the top. So that makes it very easy to work on, because when I'm working on furniture and stuff like that, trying to put it in from the top can sometimes be a pain. So I like to make a module out of one side wall, and it makes it very viewable for a person that's working on it, and also for showing off the house when you want to show off the details. Then I can unhide all of those. Click on Unhide and All. That puts my roof and window back on. Now you'll notice that when I put my wall back on, these walls here that I didn't have painted came back as white. That's okay, we can fix that real easy. Here I'm going to hide the roof again, and I'm going to hide the wall again. And then these front walls here need to be painted the same color as the side walls, otherwise they're going to show up as that ugly white color. So going back up to my paint box again, remember how to use that. I'm going to use my eyedropper. I'm going to select my wall color, and eyedropper, and select the wall color, and then I'm just going to paint those end walls right there. Now when I put my walls back on, they will show up the same exact color they're supposed to be. So we'll go to Edit, Unhide, All. Now you can see my walls are painted again. So you may have to do a little bit of touch-up work after you make a component, but not any big deal. As long as you just select the material as you want, then you can make components. So then you can hide these again. Okay, we're going to hide the walls. And now I can work on the interior without having those roofs and walls in the way, and then I can put them back on. Okay, so that's how you make easy components for different sections of your house, or to make of anything that you want to make a component of. Alright, so starting here now, we're ready to start putting the interior of this house together. Okay, before we start doing anything on the interior of this, I'm going to, where I've got the roof off and the wall off, I'm going to turn the whole rest of the house into a module. The reason is it makes it much easier if I want to take the house off to see something, to put something in behind a wall, or to work on furniture and stuff like that. I may want to hide this entire module at some point. So, and it also keeps me from erasing lines for the house that I get confused with furniture or something like that. So that's just a trick that I've learned. So again, using your selector, just go up in the sky above it. This time we're going to select the whole unit. Now you will select anything that's on the ground around it or behind it too. Since we don't have anything to worry about that way, we can just select just the house. And you can see that it's selected everything there. Doors, windows, the whole thing. Okay. Now, another tool, instead of just making a component, I'm going to make a group. Since I've got windows and doors in this that are separate components that I might want to pull out of this unit, instead of making one solid component, I'm going to make a group which includes the doors and windows of this unit. So up in your edit menu, instead of make component, click on make group. Now it works the same way as a component, but the difference is you can then explode this, and I'll show you how to explode these so you can work on them. By clicking on them and having them highlighted, you can see it's highlighted there. Okay, then you can go up to your edit menu and you can click, whoops, I hit lock. Go up to your edit menu and you can click on, down at the very bottom it says group in model. There's one in the model, and another little small menu will open up here where it says edit group or explode. Okay, if you edit the group, you can actually change, you can still change all of the colors or anything that you want to just by clicking on it. You will notice that the ground and everything else except for that unit will kind of go a grayish color. That's so you can work just on that unit. Then you can paint walls, you can do anything you want. Again, you can change all your coloring. You can, if you want to change your house to be a pink color, you can change all the walls again on the entire unit or just one wall, however you want to work on it. So that's a good function to know how to do. So then when you're done working on it, we're going to undo that because I don't want that wall color. I'm going to hit undo paint. Then when you're done working on it, you can either hit close the group in the edit menu, or a simple way is just to click on the sky and it closes that group. That way that unit works both as a component, but the components of the windows and doors are also components that you can work on separately, pull out of the unit or whatever you want to do. Okay, so now we're going to start working on putting the furniture inside this. I'm going to click on the sky here so I don't have that blue box around it. Now, I'm going to do a very, very simple floor plan in here. This is not, I'm not doing a highly stylized design, so just so you know that. This is just for ideas on how to use the library and how to use components, and then you can decide how you want to do your rooms. Now, one of the first things you want to do is decide where you want your interior walls to be. Okay, before we start placing any type of furniture, building any components on the inside of this, I'm going to decide if I want interior walls. Now, not all house plans have to have interior walls, but generally you're going to have at least a bathroom enclosed with a couple of walls, and you're going to want to know how to do interior walls in your structure. So let's learn how to do that. But first, because I'm going to put a bathroom wall in here, I've already looked at this over, and I know that this space in here probably isn't big enough for the bathroom that I want. So that means my window is going to be in the way, and I'm going to have to move it. This is an easy way, using that component feature I showed you. Just click on your component that includes the window. Then you can right click, or you can go up in the edit menu and go to edit group. Okay? Then you're going to click on the window. Now you notice that it didn't highlight anything else. It just clicked on the window, and I'm going to hide that. I'm going to remove that window so it's just not there right now. Then using my selector tool, I'm going to select the window frame. Clicking outside the window frame just on the wall, I'm going to draw a box around the window frame. Now you can see that my window frame is highlighted, okay? Now I'm going to use my movement tool, my drag tool, and just anywhere on the face of that box of that selected opening, I'm going to click and I'm just going to drag that window. Look at this. I'm going to drag that window and I'm going to drag that window. Now I could drag and measure it exactly where I want it to go. And I'm going to move it 3 foot 6 inches, but you can just let it go wherever you want it to go. But we're going to go 3 foot 6 inches. I'm going to move it that direction over here. Okay? That way I'll have more room in here in order to put a bathroom, and that's what I want to do. Now you can do the same thing with any doors or windows. But before we do that, let's put the window back in this opening that I've done that. All I need to do is click Edit and click Unhide Last. There's my window, but you notice it has to be moved too. So again, I'm going to drag, whoops, got the wrong thing. Edit, undo move. Now, using your selector tool, click on the window this time. Okay, click on the window and highlight that. And then move it, again, just grab on the front of it and move it over on the blue axis again. Okay, and you're going to move it over or it'll snap right in. Look at that. On the red axis, it'll just snap right into the window opening. Now, I move that entire window and door over in the wall without having to make another opening or anything like that. That's just a simple trick for moving stuff around to give yourself a little bit more room. Now, to do it again, I've got this door in the back wall centered, but because I'm going to put a bathroom over here on this side, I want this door maybe on the back not to be centered. So again, I'm going to move it simply by clicking on the door first. Hide the door, okay? Then, using my selector tool, I'm going to go up and around the door frame, select that door frame, use my movement tool, grab it, and I'm just going to move my door opening, and let's move it over 2 feet. Now I've got my door opening over there. Now this gives me all of this room in here that I'm going to turn into a bathroom so I can put my walls in there. Okay, so that's a very neat function that you can do with the group menu. Now again, we're going to unhide our door. Just go up to Edit, Unhide Last for the door. And then again, you're going to need to click on the door to highlight it. Using your movement tool, grab it, and just move it, and it should just pop right in. Yep, pops right in the frame. See that? Very smooth, very easy to do. So now I've got my door and my window in a location. Now that makes changing your plans a whole lot simpler. You decide you don't want a door or window, you can even erase them if you want to. If you decide you don't want a window on a wall, just erase it, and it'll just go right back to a blank wall. So that's a really neat way of modifying your plans as you're going along. Now I've got this whole room empty over on this side so I can build in some interior walls. Now I'm going to close that group, or I can leave it open and work on it like this. Let's close it because it makes it a little bit easier to look at. Okay? Now I've got those windows and doors in there, so now we're going to draw some walls. Okay, now that we've got these windows and doors about where we want them, remember we can still move them if we want to, but we got them about where we want them. I've got a nice opening over here for a bathroom. So now it's time to put in interior walls. Now, I'm going to make a separate bathroom module walls, separate from this group unit here. So just keep that in mind. We're making a separate unit. That way I can make a bathroom module, and I can use it so that if later on I want to take the bathroom out to show it without the bathroom, I can just click hide and hide the entire bathroom. So that's why we're doing this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure over to determine where we want our interior walls. Okay, so we're going to measure our guide marks for our interior walls. Just going from the inside corner there, I'm going to measure over here, and that window is at about 9 foot. I know that the width of this house, the length of this house was 16 feet, right? So I'm going to put a wall here. Let's go over 8 foot. We'll center the interior wall. And I'm going to go over, well, no, let's go 7 foot. Okay, I'm going to make a 7 foot bathroom on the interior here. So I'm going to measure over 7 feet. And that leaves me a guide mark there. There's my guide mark. Then taking my pencil from that guide mark, I'm going to go up the wall on the blue axis to the top of the wall. Then I remember our walls are 4 inches thick, so I'm going to draw on the red axis. I'm going to draw over here 4 inches. Then I'm going to go back down along that wall on the blue axis, all the way to the bottom, and then I'm just going to connect those 2 points. Now you'll notice that the rectangle this time is not the same color as the walls. The reason is because I'm creating a new module. I'm not working on this group. I'm actually using them as guide points, but this module I'm creating will be a separate unit from this group. So just keep that in mind. So then using my push-pull tool on that rectangle I created, I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to draw it over. Now you can draw this interior wall any distance that you want. But we know that the width of this house is 12 feet. So I'm going to make this bathroom 7 foot by 6 foot. And so all I do is just type in 6 foot. And that will leave my wall right there at 6 foot. So now I've got a pretty decent size opening in here for a bathroom. There's enough room in a 7 foot space to put a full-size bathtub or a walk-in shower, stand-up shower, plus room to put in your toilet and a small vanity. So that's what I'm looking at. In a small house like this, you have to conserve on space. So we're going to make a 7 foot by 6 foot bathroom. So now I've got this interior wall drawn over, and it is 6 feet this direction, 8 foot high, and 8 feet from this wall over to or 7 feet from this wall over to there. So now I can draw another wall going from this line over to this wall. But instead of doing a rectangle, we're going to do a line. Just from this line right there, I'm going to draw a line on the red axis over to this wall. Okay? Then rotating this down, I'm going to make a panel. Kind of like we did the front walls. I'm going to make the panel over to that corner. Now I've got a panel. Now if you pull this before you put in your door, it's going to make it a lot harder to put in the door. Just like we did in the front walls. Make a panel first and cut your door, then pull your walls. So then using my tape measure, I'm going to go from this line right here, I'm going to go in 1 foot. I don't want my door frame right up against this wall. That looks a little bit silly on a house. So instead I'm going to go from that line, I'm going to go over 1 foot, select, and I'm going to go over 1 foot to give me a guide point. Then I'm going to use my pencil, and going from that guide point, I'm going to go up. Remember, our doors were 6 foot, 8 inches high, so I'm going to type in 6 foot, 8 inches. That gives me the top of the door. Then on the red axis, our doors were 3 foot wide on the front, so we'll just stick with that. We'll go with 3 foot wide. Then on the blue axis, back down to the floor, and then I'm going to connect those 2 points. Then using my selector tool, I'm just going to select that door opening and hit erase, and it cut out my door. Now you notice it left this line. It left this line down here. So I want to erase that. I'm just going to highlight it and hit erase. Now I've got my door opening, 6 foot 8 inches high and 3 foot wide. And now I can just pull this wall using my pull tool again. I can pull this wall over 4 inches, same thickness as the other walls. And now I've got my door opening for my bathroom. Okay? Got a nice looking door opening there for the bathroom. That looks real good. Now, when I get done, what I'm going to be able to do is I'll be able to click on this module that we created and click hide. And now you see that my bathroom walls are all staying together. They're right there and working on it. When I get done putting in the toilet and shower and the other fixtures, I will turn this entire unit into a module. That way I can take it in and out of the cabin to show what it looks like with the bathroom in or without it out. So that's the reason we do that. So then I'll go back up here to edit and click unhide last to put my walls back on there. See how easy that is? Now you can draw interior walls anywhere you want in your structure, but you want to think in a small house, you want to think about space, conserving of space and how you're going to use the space. Traffic flow is also important. So what I've decided here, how I'm going to use this will be the bathroom. This area over here would make a really nice kitchen area. So I can turn this into a kitchen area, and I can have cabinets against this wall and all the way along this wall. I can put fridges and whatever else in here. That means I'll probably have to change the size of that window, but that's no big deal. And then this area from here over into here will be a living area with probably a little bit of an office space in here. That's kind of the plans, I think, for this small of a house. And then we'll worry about the bedroom when we get to that point. I'm going to build a loft on here, which I'll show you how to do for a bedroom. But we're going to use this bottom half for a kitchen, a living area, and a bathroom. Okay, now that we've got these bathroom walls in here, we're ready to start putting in furnishings. Now we're going to do some interior design work. And let me tell you, interior designers, they make a whole lot of money because they know how to make things fit into areas to get the best functionality out of them. Now, I am not the best interior designer, and a lot of what I'm going to do here is going to be very simple just to demonstrate how to use the library and how to make this look good so you can at least get in some furniture and then you can play with it. You're going to have to play with it to make your design look the way you want. So we're going to go ahead and put a shower stall and a sink and a toilet into this bathroom. Those are the basic components for a bathroom. So we're going to go up here to our Trimble library. That's the box with the yellow arrow for downloading. And let's start with the shower. And I'm just going to type in shower stall and see what comes up in the library. And there's a bunch of different varieties of shower stalls. Here's a bathroom shower stall enclosed. Let's take a look at that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Shower head against the back, nozzles over there, single person shower. That looks pretty good. Let's go with that. So let's download that directly into my model. It takes a few seconds for it to download. The more complex the model, the longer it takes to download. So that's attached to my cursor, and I'm going to just put it on the face. Now you can see it's facing the wrong direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my rotation tool again, and I'm going to just rotate that around so it's facing the right direction. Click, rotate it around so it's facing the right direction. Then using my movement tool, I can move this. I grab on the bottom. That makes it a little bit easier. That way it stays on the face. But I'm going to move it first. Whoops. Let's go ahead and put that back. I'm going to move it first in the red axis. That'll make it easier. Then I'm going to use it. When you go through walls sometimes, the picture likes to jump around. See how it does that? Don't let that worry you. Just keep dragging until you're inside, and then it'll come back to normal. So now it's inside the bathroom. Now I can drag that component. Now you see that blue box that's around it. Those are really handy because as you get close to the wall, you want to know that it's right against the wall. As soon as that blue line starts to disappear, see how it started to disappear? That's how you know that it's against the line. So you can just drag it. Now sometimes you have to zoom in because sometimes it'll jump around a little bit. Let's zoom in so we can see what we're doing here. Using my movement tool, I'm going to drag that over until it's right against that wall. As soon as that blue line, I don't want it completely against it. To make this easier, I'm going to grab it and pull it over against that wall because it wants to be stubborn. It doesn't want to go against the wall. Okay, so there it's on. I think it's on against the wall. Let's see if I got it up against there. No, it isn't. You stubborn bugger. Go against the wall. I'll try it from the side. Sometimes that works better. Okay, that worked better. You can see that blue line on the back wall of the shower. I'm just going to go right up until that starts to disappear. That tells me that the shower stall is now against the wall. And now I can move it over. I'm going to put it against this wall over here. Same thing. I'm just going to drag it over until that blue line just starts to disappear. And that tells me it's right against the wall right there. Okay? Now I can click off of that. And you can see that my shower stall is right in the corner. A one-person shower stall. Now this may be a little bit narrow in here. So I'm going to make this shower stall. I'm not sure how wide they made it, but I'm going to make it more narrow. So what I'm going to do is use, again, tools and scale. Whoops, got to click on it first. Select it. Then hit tools and scale. And grabbing on the inside center box, using your selector. Tools, scale. You find your inside center box right there. And I'm just going to pull it over. And I'm going to do the same thing on the front. I'm going to push it back just a little bit to make it square. Okay? A little bit smaller shower box than what they provided there. Okay? Now I've got a one-person shower there. That would be a fairly narrow shower. Let's see how wide it is. We'll measure it. It is 2 foot 10 inches. So that's 2 foot 10 inches on that shower. So that's wide enough for an adult to stand in and take a shower. Remember, this is only 6 foot wide to this wall out here. So it's kind of narrow, but 2 foot 10 inches. That's not bad. Okay, now I'm going to put a sink in here. So let's go back up to our library. And you got to remember there's two types of sinks, kitchen and bathroom sinks. So type in bathroom. And we'll type in bathroom vanity because that's a sink in a cabinet. And here it'll give me sinks and cabinets. and I look down here, and I'm just looking for a basic sink and cabinet. Go around here till I'll find one that's not too gaudy or complex. Just a basic bathroom sink. That one looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like. It's got something on the side of it there. Okay, we're looking for a basic vanity here. We want one that will be fairly small. There we go. Bathroom vanity. And it's just a basic vanity. Just a basic vanity. So then we're going to download that directly into our model. Okay, now you can see it's rotated the wrong direction. So I'm just going to put it on the face. Right there. On the face. And then I'm going to rotate it. Right next to it. And I'm just going to... Whoops. You got to make sure when you rotate that you're on the right axis. I'm going to rotate it on the blue axis. And I'm just going to rotate that around so it's facing the right direction. Now, it kind of throws people off when something goes inside something else. Don't let that worry you because you're just going to pull it through. Remember, these are not solid objects, so you can move them through other objects. Again, I'm going to line it up with the blue line right until it just disappears and it'll be against that wall. Okay? Then again on the green axis, I'm going to do the same thing, line it up against the wall. And then I'm going to scale it because it's obviously too big for this opening. Hit Tools and Scale. And grabbing that middle box, I'm just going to pull that right over to the edge of the shower. Now I've got a sink that fits into my opening with a vanity underneath it. And you can paint this any color you want. You can select and paint the whole thing. I'm not going to paint it. I'm just going to leave it that color because we're not worried about colors right now. And now I'm also going to put in a toilet. Now this vanity is too deep this direction, I can see that. So what I'm going to do is hit Tools and Scale and grab that, and I'm going to push it back so that it is actually the width it's supposed to be. Okay? And that will give me room in here for my toilet, which is what I want. So now I've got my sink, my shower, and I'm going to put a toilet right here. So we go up and we choose from the Trimble library. We'll do a toilet. And you're going to see all different types of toilets in here you can choose, or you can design your own. And when I see a toilet that I like, then I'll use it. There's one with a very flat tank. We're looking for a more traditional. Let's go on through here. Oh, there's a toilet by Sketchup. Let's back up. That says more accurate toilet. Let's back up here. Here's a toilet made by Sketchup. Now I will use the Sketchup actually makes their own designs that they will include with the library. You can use those, and that way you're not worried about them being copyrighted if you're going to publish this or use it for the contest. Use the Sketchup models for your designs, and then you don't have to worry about that. You can use those. And I'll load that directly into my model. Takes a few seconds. Now I've got a toilet. Of course, it's facing the wrong direction, so I'll put it on the face, and then I'm going to rotate that around. Rotate, there, and I'm just going to rotate that, and, whoop, it disappeared. It's okay, I'll just click, and I'll hit undo, and this time we'll try it again so I can see it. I'll click on the green axis, rotate it around. Now I know where I'm going. Okay, I'm going to rotate it around there. Then using my movement tool, I'm going to pull it in on the red axis. Then I'm going to push it over on the green axis, pull it in a little bit until that line lines up where I want it, right there on the wall. Then I'm going to push it over so it goes right against that wall, but then I don't want it against the wall, so I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Okay. Now you've got a toilet, a sink, and a shower in there. Okay. Now I would say that that shower is still too wide. It doesn't look right to me. So I'm going to click on it. Again, Tools. Whoops. Click and select it. Tools, Scale. And I'm going to move that shower back a little bit because it looks too wide to me. It's not as... We'll go back there. That should be about the same width. Looks like a square. Okay. Now I've got my shower stall. And I've got enough room to walk past here to the sink. And I've got room here for my legs for the toilet. You want to think about room and how an adult is going to move around. Now that's a small bathroom. That's only 7 feet to that line and 6 feet to that line over there. So that's a fairly small bathroom, but you can see that even in a 7 foot by 6 foot bathroom, you can get a shower stall, a sink, and a toilet, and even have enough room over here for maybe a cabinet. Now up above this, if you want, you could put in another cabinet. Just go up and find bathroom cabinets, and you could put a bathroom cabinet, or maybe you want a medicine cabinet over here. You could also put in windows. I would put another window in this bathroom, which I will show, but we won't worry about that right now. But you can put in another window right here in the bathroom, so you've got ventilation to your bathroom, which is I would recommend. So there's your bathroom. Now, once you've got your bathroom set up, then what you want to do, I would suggest, is making it into a component. That way you can take it in or out and work on it separately from the rest of the house. So what we do first is we click on the house component, and we just hide that. And that leaves the bathroom with the toilet and sink sitting exactly where they're supposed to be. Then, using our selection tool again, I'm just going to make a selection box. You can see that. I'm going to make a selection box right around all of those. Highlight them so they're all blue. I'm going to go up to my edit menu and make group. And that makes them into a separate group. Now they are all one group. That way I can move them all together as one unit or hide them. Now the reason I like that is because when I'm showing the house to someone else, I want to be able to click on a feature and remove it to show them what it looks like with that. Or I could create several of these bathrooms, okay? And that way I can show them different styles and layouts for the bathroom. So, excuse me. So then I'll unhide those walls again. And now you can see that I can click on the bathroom, and I can click hide, and I can hide the entire bathroom, and we're right back to our open plan. Or click unhide and unhide that again and put the bathroom back in. That way you can see all the different features of the cabin. So that's a really nice function of the Sketchup that allows you to make components and groups. Okay, so that's the way you put furniture in. Our next step will be to put in our living room and our kitchen furniture, and we'll do that next. Okay folks, just to make this go a little bit faster so you don't have to watch me downloading all of these components and moving them around, I think you get the idea of how to do that. I went ahead and downloaded some components here. I've got a nice little couch in the living area. I pulled in a desk with a computer on it. In the kitchen area, I pulled in a fridge, and I pulled in a counter with a sink on the top of it. Okay, now you can pull in any components you want, scale them, modify them, do whatever you want. But what I wanted to do is just show you how that layout of that room is, and how you could download any component. You've got a nice little walk space through. I would probably put some more built-in cabinets along this wall over here. I put a cabinet up above your sink over here, and whatever you want that way. Now I'm going to put this wall back on this side over here so you can just see it from the inside. That's what's nice about modules, components. I'm just going to unhide all. Then I'm going to click on the roof, and I'm going to hide the roof. And let's go ahead and hide this bed I stuck up here. Okay. Now you can see this with the wall over here, and you can see that I need to paint that wall the same color as this. So I'm just going to click on that, hit it, edit, component, click on my paint box. I'm going to go to my eyedropper, and you notice I changed these walls back to all the same color over here so they look good. Let's change that to that Pepto-Bismol pink. Okay, now all the walls on the interior are all the same, and here you can see nice walk-through space for a kitchen, cabinets up here, maybe a small window over here. Room for a desk over in that corner, furniture. You got a travel path here, and you can put in doors. You could put in a bifold door or something in this opening right here, any type of door you want. And there's your kitchen and bathroom area, okay? And now what we want to do is we want to do a bedroom, and we're going to do a loft bedroom in these houses. That's very typical for these. And doing a loft bedroom platform is really pretty easy to do. First, grab your rectangle tool, go on the inside of that corner there, because you got to remember that your platform is going to sit inside of the roof wall, and go to this, or excuse me, let's do this again. Let's grab our rectangle. We'll go to the inside of this corner over here and over to the front edge of this corner over here. Create our platform. Grab the platform and lift it up. Now I'm going to lift this up 6 inches because I would use 2x6s for a platform because you're going to be supporting the weight of a bed up here. So 2x4s are not quite as strong as 2x6s. So we're going to go with 2x6 platform. Then we want to paint this to make it look like a platform. So I'm going to grab my eyedropper, select the same thing as on my floor, and I'll paint that. Okay, and I want to do, let's do this front edge and side edges of this the same color as the doors, just so everything matches. Okay, I've got that painted. Rotate around here. You don't actually have to paint these edges because they're not going to be seen, but just to make it, if I pull the roof off, I might see those edges, and I want it to look like wood. So I'm just going to paint those edges around there. Okay, and that makes your platform. You could also paint the ceiling inside if you want. Just rotate it under and paint the ceiling. But I already downloaded a bed, and I'm just going to unhide this and show you what it looks like with the bed. Again, unhide all. Click on the roof. Now I'm going to show you how you can look at just the inside without taking the entire roof off. Click on the roof and then hit Edit Component. Click on that front panel there and click Hide. And that will take off just that panel of the roof. Now this is nice because now you can see it with the roof on, so you can see how much space you have for your furniture and stuff like that. Here you can see you've got your loft room up here for your bedroom, and you've got your platform, and you can see down inside. You can zoom in and you can see your living area with a nice desk over there, couch, bathroom in the corner, and kitchen area. So that's nice. Then when you're done looking at it, just hit Edit, Undo Close, and Edit, Undo Hide, and then click off of that again, and that puts that panel back on, and there's your house. Now that is a fully functional small house with bathroom, living area, kitchen, and even a desk, and you've got your roof and your doors and your windows and everything on it. Now I would probably put a window up in this end wall, here, since this is over the loft. I would probably put a window over that end wall, and I would put a window over this bathroom and this wall over here, but I will let you do that. Now, you decide how you want your house to look. This is just for ideas and to teach you how to use SketchUp, the free version, to design small structures. This is called a representational model, okay? It is to scale, but it is called a representational model because it does not show the framing. In the next lesson, I will show you actually how to design the framing for a small house like this, and that way you can use that as a guideline if you're going to build these structures. That's really important too. But these representational models are really nice if you want to show somebody what it is or how you want a house to look. These are really nice because you can take off components, you can see inside them, you can, just like a dollhouse, you can move stuff around, you can change it, you can decorate it, you can paint it, you can do anything you want. So that's really nice to be able to do. And then I'll also show you how to do a framing model. So we'll go back up and unhide all this. Okay, folks, that is the lessons to help you to design these small structures for your own use. If you come up with a great design, I do hope you'll go to my website, simplesolarhomesteading.com, go to the Tiny House Design Contest page, and submit your designs. We'd love to see whatever you come up with in the way of your small house designs that could be either under 200 or 400 square feet or a house on wheels. So go get you a copy of Google SketchUp, practice the controls, practice on how to make components, practice on the library and pulling your items in. All right, folks, thanks for stopping by. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and have a great day.